Get your St. Louis MMA fix at knucklejunkies.com.
This video is sponsored by Brad Carey with Realty Executives Premier. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, call Brad Carey.
Knuckle Junkies here with Evan Elder at Shamrock FC 301. Evan, just off of a beautiful first round triangle finish. Walk us through the fight and just how it went in your head.
I felt like it was going great. I came out and threw just a couple shots. I'll be honest, all respect to Luis. He threw a mean-ass head kick, just missed it, slipped back, came back with a couple punches, took him down. I felt like I had really good top control. He wasn't really able to move much. And then again, props to him. I was stuck in half guard. I couldn't really pass. Tried trapping the leg, knee sliding through the mount, and he actually ended up rolling me. I caught one of his hands, shot my hips up, caught him in a triangle, and was able to finish it,
Yeah, I mean, Luis Felipe coming into this fight, we knew about his Muay Thai acumen, was taking him down and trying to grind him out early. Was that a part of the game plan?
To be honest, I didn't even have too much of a game plan. I know that sounds probably pretty bad, but I just felt really confident I was going to be, I had the advantage everywhere, so I was going in there, I was going to feel it out, striking with him, and did it a little bit. I didn't do it as much as I wanted to. I don't know why. I just felt like the opening was there. Oh, he threw a kick. I kind of caught it, fell into it. I was able to get side control. He did a beautiful job of getting me back to half guard. I was lucky enough to maintain the position, and he couldn't get me back to guard. He did a great job of rolling me, but no, not necessarily getting him straight to the ground wasn't necessarily the idea.
Knuckle Junkies here at Shamrock FC 301 with victorious Joe Roye. Joe, before we talk about the fight, a little bit of a switch-up last-minute opponent change. Just go and talk through that about like the mental aspect of having to fight Dustin Lampros and then having that opponent change. What did it mean to you?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I had to switch opponents. I was working a lot, so I couldn't make the weight, and it really stressed me out, man. And when I switched opponents, I was so visualized on Dustin and how to finish him, and when I would switch opponents, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see how it went. And then this morning, I woke up, I said, he's gonna take me down, but I'm ready for whatever. And thank God it happened, man.
Yeah, one of the things that was said about you is like, the Achilles heel, so to speak, has always been the jiu-jitsu. And tonight, to get a first-round finish with a triangle choke, I mean, you said it in the interviews prior that you've been working your jiu-jitsu. Do you feel like you kind of showed everyone, like, hey, look what I've done?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at how I set the triangle up, I didn't have it originally, but I made it happen. I mean, I work hard on my jiu-jitsu. I went to California, I trained with only black belts, and they dominate me every day. I wasn't submitting anybody when I was out there, but I was getting submitted less and less, and then finally it showed.
Knuckle Junkies here at Shamrock FC 301 with victorious Corbin Howard. Corbin, first and foremost, we've talked many times as amateurs. This is the first foray into the pro ranks. How did the win feel tonight?
Man, it felt great. It was, I got a little elbow happy with the first time being able to throw those, but yeah, it felt great. I trained really hard for this. I got my strength program was really in order, and I think it showed tonight.
Yeah. Just to talk about a little bit about, before you were training for an amateur fight, 3-minute rounds, no elbows and knees to the head. Now training for a professional fight. Just talk us into the mentality going into this fight.
I've always trained like I was a professional. I never trained for 3-minute rounds. We always go 5-minute rounds rolling. We go 5-minute rounds on the mitt. So I've been planning it to go pro, and I've been training for the professional fight since I started MMA.
Your original opponent was supposed to be Ray Allard. Just talk about the kind of quick change and the short notice opponent change and what that meant for you and the mentality going into the fight.
Yeah, coming from a wrestling background and a taekwondo background, whenever you're at tournaments, you get opponent changes every single match. So you have to game plan differently with an hour between matches, or in taekwondo, sometimes 2-3 minutes between matches. So when the opponent dropped out earlier this week, it really didn't change much. I'm used to having to switch up the game plan from wrestling and from taekwondo, so I was able to adapt pretty quickly.
You look like an absolute natural out there, calm, composed, and collected. Is there anything in the fight that kind of surprised you?
He was strong with that hold whenever I shot in. I knew he was going to have a strong guillotine, but he honestly felt even stronger than I anticipated. He's got a pretty decent squeeze on him.
Knuckle Junkies here at Shamrock FC 301. Scrappy with a professional debut, coming out strong with that first round TKO. Just walk us through the preparation for this fight, what the pro ranks means to you, and just the weight cut and everything leading up into this fight versus the amateurs.
Man, this fight was particularly hard because I moved back here after 3 years, and like just getting used to everything. The cold weather is more mentally challenging, but honestly, it wasn't too much different than preparing for an amateur fight because I prepare like a pro all the time. So that didn't really change. I do this, this is what I do. You're the same with you. This is what we do for our lives, and that's what I love to do. And Shamrock put on a great show. Shamrock helped me out, get me a fight last minute when my guy couldn't make weight, 15 pounds over, because he's not a true pro. But yeah, man, I'm pumped. I don't even know what to say. I'm so pumped right now.
So you touched up on that. I mean, what was the last minute change? I mean, did it affect you having an opponent change this close?
No, it didn't affect me. I just kept focused, kept good mentors around, good vibes, and went out there and just finished what I had to do.
So let's just walk through the fight for a little bit. I mean, came out strong. You were able to kind of catch his takedowns, throw him over with the guillotine, and then finally ended it with some vicious ground and pound.
What happened was I came out with my leg kick, landed it with my toe, didn't really, and then I see him kind of dipping for it, so I threw that head kick, kind of slipped, and that's when he rushed me and kind of got close to me. I just tried pulling that guillotine down, and then once we went to the ground and I felt I had the top pressure, I started letting my hands go, and it was over.
Was there anything about this fight or the camp that surprised you at all?
The fight, because it was I trained 2 months for a guy, and then last minute 14-hour change. So,
Dustin, it was a spectacular performance nonetheless, and it's always a pleasure watching you perform.
thank you, Ariane, you're the man.
knucklejunkies.com